Tier 4, bruv. Tier 4. I said, you don't know how to run the country, my king.
He said, my king, he's lucky to get the title. Lucky.
You don't know what you're doing, fam.
I wonder if you're dealing now what you're doing.
But you know what's kind of like what's a bit confusing to me is Boris isn't the main guy. Like all right, let me make sense because I'm not landing properly. Boris is the prime minister.
Let me learn.
Boris, let me learn. God. Oh man, Boris isn't the only guy running the country. Like, I don't know where we've got the idea that one man in any country is making all the decisions. That doesn't. It's not reality.
He's the face off. He's the face off, isn't it?
Right. There is a whole team, like whatever you want to call it, of advisors and lawmakers behind the scenes, like and I'm not in a cloak and dagger way. We just don't see them publicly. Boris isn't a man that just sits in the office. It's like, okay, this is what I'm doing today, lads, and this is what's done. Like it doesn't work like that. So why I'm confused is how can so many people get it wrong? If it was one man, I could be like, actually, Boris is an idiot. He's making bad mistakes. He's making bad decisions. But it's a whole group of people that are running this country, which is like, how are we getting it so wrong, guys? How are we getting it so wrong? At every stage, lockdown 1, wrong. Lockdown 2, wrong. Now we're into tier 4, talking about tier 5. We didn't shut down our borders until everyone around us was shutting down their borders for us. That's wild. So we was like, yeah, you can come in, you can fly, and everyone's like, nah, sorry, we don't want anyone from the UK. It's not happening. And that's when we decided it don't make sense to me. This whole thing don't make sense. But
it's because this is my theory. I'm not a political person whatsoever, right? But Britain, England, to be specific, like it's just our chest is just too high, right? So we think we know how to do everything, and we're so independent. Like we try to separate from Europe and all these types of things, and ultimately shagging ourselves to the point where everyone can turn their back on us now. And it's just like, why don't you? It's I don't know what you call it, patriotism, pride, whatever. But like, make a call one of them other countries that's got their shit together, and be like, bro, how did you do it? Because we're shagged over here. I don't understand how, like, it's like they're shooting in the dark.
Yeah.
When the example is there. People are moving and shaking. Other European countries are moving and shaking, and we're here still. That's like, I'm asking myself, what is it like? Is it you guys can't make the call, or you guys have severed your ties with certain other countries and shagged yourself, like? And now
I feel like Boris definitely, and again, it's not just Boris, but he was upholding this. Oh, he didn't want to cancel Christmas, like, and I understand the impact of mental health Christmas would have on people, especially a year filled of not being able to see loved ones, like you said, loved ones in care homes and in other facilities that wouldn't have allowed them to see that. And then Christmas would be really the only respite. But I think in terms of just having common sense, we understood that, all right, if it's going to be bad in the long run, let's just not have Christmas. Just tell us from October. Don't wait 3 days when everyone's made their plan, turkey is bought, do you know what I mean? And now you just check. That's it. So yeah, man, it's a mad one for me. It's a mad one. But you Londoners, I don't think, in terms of how the I don't know what you call your constituents what is it? Constituent? I can't even talk it.
I think that is the word.
What you
Congrats.
just? I don't feel like Londoners, not Londoners. Just that London didn't handle it very well. The data was there. The data was there. I think you could have avoided tier
I
4.
don't get it. And you're trying to lock off my Christmas when you're not looking at the data.
right. Anyway. Because we spoke about this, and I know nobody wants to hear about COVID because we've been living it for the last 12 months. What do you guys watch over Christmas? Did you watch anything except for Soul? Because Cherry didn't watch it. What did you watch?
What did I watch over Christmas? I need to go through my thing. I need to go through my recent.
Jerry, what did you watch? Did you watch anything that kind of like
What, Christmassy?
Yeah, or anything? Because we got bare time.
I watched Jingle Jangle.
Oh, that was sick. That was sick. That was sick. I enjoyed that. I
really enjoyed that.
I enjoyed that a lot. And I purposely didn't wait. I waited until like Christmas to watch it instead of watching it when it came out in November time. But yeah, it was sick, man. Forrest Whitaker's a G, you know.
Yeah, do you know what I've been watching that he's in as well? The Godfather of Harlem.
Oh, I really want to watch that.
It's on Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay. There's only one season there so far, but he's like the head honcho in it. He is just such a G. He's so multifaceted as well. Like
he's like our almost like our Tom Hanks. Like he embodies the role. Do you know what I mean? You don't really see Forrest Whitaker when he's acting. You just see his character, which is quite sick.
He's so good. He's so good.
Really, man.
But yeah, I think that was the one. That was the only Christmassy film that I watched. And obviously, like, you know, when you're waiting for like food or whatever, or you've eaten food and you're just between time and Sister Act comes on, you always have
Yeah. Sister Act.
Can't go wrong.
And for some reason, I found myself watching like season 5 of Moesha, the stuff that I wasn't privy to before. When Ray J comes in, is in their permanent role.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I don't think I've watched that season.
Yeah,
man.
I don't think we had those episodes. We
Ray
didn't have those
J.
episodes. Yeah. Like,
and who does he play?
Her brother.
What?
Like long lost brother. That like Frank had kept a secret love child from Frank, like that.
He's mad.
Yeah, so
I've ever seen that.
Right, so when I saw that, I was like, I don't know about this storyline. So then I started getting involved in that and engrossed in that. So yeah, but I think Jingle Jangle was the only Christmas film I watched.
Jermaine?
This might be a bit too sci-fi for Ono, but I watched The Mandalorian final season. Sick. You're sick in it.
Wait, is that the little green?
Yeah.
I love him. I just want the toy.
I finished season 2 of that. That was absolutely insane.
Yeah, man.
I think it's just done so masterful, man. Just even the first season. Yeah. It's just like they're like little mini movies, and if it was one movie, it would just be like probably the best Star Wars movie or whatever.
I'm gutted it's like that part of the story is done. Because I know they said there's going to be a season 3, but I'm just gutted like that part. Yeah, man, it was sick, man. It was sick.
I watched this other film recently as well called Peppermint. I'm not sure if you've seen it.
We watched that as well. That's another one.
Yeah, she wasn't playing.
Bro.
What is it about?
Basically, go on, Cherry. Basically, her man, what's her name? Jessica. It's not Jessica.
Oh my God, you made the short version.
Jennifer Garner, sorry, Jennifer Garner. I'm trying to get the names properly. Jennifer Garner. She basically her man was gonna get wrapped up in some crime or whatever. Didn't go through with it, but either way, he ended up being wrapped up. The cartel or whatever kill off her family, and then she's on a revenge tip, and then bang, there you go.
And then the film
like
unravels.
Is it Law Abiding Citizen, Ricardo?
Yeah, Law Abiding Citizen vibe.
But with a female protagonist.
Yeah.
She is not ramping.
Yeah, it was peak. It was very peak.
Is it a recent film?
Is it, Jermaine?
Yeah,
I think it's a couple of years old. Oh?
Are you sure?
Is it 2020?
No, it's a couple of years, 2018, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. But you know, it's funny because you know the algorithms on Netflix and that, if you're into like, obviously I watch a lot of black films. So like, if there's one black character in a film, they'll show you that person.
I've been peeping that. It's actually mad. And then you go to the film and you're like, but there's no black people in this. and then all of a sudden, that one black person pops up. You're like, you man are having me on. They're reeling us in, you know.
Listen, the picture that was on the thing was Method Man, innit? So me and my far self was thinking like, all of us were thinking like, oh yeah, Method Man.
Yeah.
Dope. Right, it might be a little bit gangster and stuff.
Right.
And then Method Man comes in for like 15 minutes at the end.
When you see Method Man's role, trash.
Netflix are out here catfishing us.
Listen, they're trying to get the views, yeah?
They could have got Marcus Houston to play that role.
Yeah. Fully.
Oh, man. I thought I was the only one that noticed that.
Yeah,
I thought I was the only one. That is wickedness, man. Big them up for that.
5-minute role, you know.
That's hilarious. So they gave you the black cover.
Yeah.
That is funny. Did you not see, what they call it, Elephant in the Room? ZZ Mills, Chucky, Poet, and Lippy. Yeah.
Hey. That's something else I watched over Christmas period. Let me tell you something, yeah. Doesn't know what to say about that. And I don't care. Like, I stand ZZ. Yeah.
Yeah, me too, you know.
And I just felt, you know what was busting me up about that was the fact that obviously ZZ articulates herself very well, innit?
Yeah, she does.
And then when that's matched with someone who's talking about let me land, you can't do this and then do that.
Yeah.
Comical.
Right. It is too funny. It is. Did you feel like, did you see Chucky? Did you feel like Chucky felt a little bit uncomfortable in that whole exchange?
Fully.
Like he was very quiet with the whole thing.
But the thing is, he was asking the questions.
Yeah.
So he gets to. He kind of got to.
That a lot.
What's it?
Yeah.
Like Chucky doesn't give his opinion. Chucky asks everybody else what they think.
Yeah.
But look who we was sat next to, innit? Like they got opinions galore in it, but
they knew what they were doing.
To ZZ's point, it's like I couldn't believe, even before she come down, I couldn't believe what they were saying, because I'm like,
me too. You know, she's upstairs, right, listening.
It was just like, but this is the game we're in, to talk about whatever it is, to get the eyes of the people, to get the views, to get to create the content. Like, I don't understand how someone's criticizing someone else's position in that, and also
the same thing.
Also trying to dictate, oh, we need this from you, but we don't need that from you. As if anyone can tell me what I need to be providing for them. Like, you're not paying my fucking bills.
Right.
And then it's just like, bruv, we all have that freedom of speech thing, bruv.
This is it.
So let me talk to whoever, however, in whichever way, for however long. And like, I love the fact that she addressed, like, I'm not just going to sit down with my brethren and just talk all day long. If I need to really address something for the sake of the culture and blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm just like, making you guys look like a bit immature, to be honest, because if you can't step out of your brethren circle and be the journalist that you say you are, well, they don't necessarily say they're a journalist or anything, but obviously all of them, everyone in our position now, obviously we've got a podcast and a voice to, and on a platform or whatever. It's like everyone is gonna try and document the current things.
Right.
Why are you trying to dictate or put her in a box of how we need this for the village or whatever? How about I don't live in your village, bro? And I love the fact that she was like, I made me, bro.
Oh,
talking about
like, I love that. When she dropped that, I was like, you know what? You man need to be quiet now. Because she's absolutely right. No one gave her anything. She made this space. She carved out this space over years. Don't talk because no one gave her a handout. No one was like, oh, Zizi, you should do this. Oh, Zizi, I'm going to bust you on this. And now when I'm here, you want to tell me. It didn't make sense. And some of the things that they were saying was like, actually, poet, you do that though. That's your platform. So why are you telling me?
Ultimately, my favorite part, which was the lock-off sector of the whole thing, was when he goes, you know, you call yourself the social commentator, blah blah, and she was, but everyone on social media is doing like social commentary. Like, are they doing it like me? No, they're not. So
true.
Right, like,
headshot.
And it's facts. Like, come on now.
I just, you know what? I just don't like it was the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
And she pointed it out. She was just like, don't do several things. You're on how many platforms, bro? That lashed me.
I couldn't believe it.
Lashed.
Right.
And I'm just glad she just actually like stood up for herself and she backed it, because I feel like some people feel like they can dictate, man. Can't dictate to something that's already, especially something that's already moving.
That's working. What are we talking about?
Somebody try and catch something in its baby infant stage and be like, oh, you should. When the train is already moving, let the train run on the track.
Let it run.
It's working, and I'm not in your lane, so I don't even know why you even, you know.
It's
you know what was wild? I was watching it, and I was like, I can't believe you three have agreed to this, knowing exactly what it is. Like, it wasn't like they got there and the producer said, you know what, this is what's going to happen. Zizi's upstairs and you're going to give us your thoughts on Zizi, and then she's going to come down. They knew the premise of the show before they got there. And I just felt like, I'm going to take it there. I just felt like for 3 black men, to sit across the table and tell one black woman what she should be doing and how she should be doing it was wild. And
especially when a lot of her ethos has been about fighting for dark-skinned women, and whether they want to admit it or not, she has posed the question several times and made people think. She's made several artists like that. She's addressed certain people, and lo and behold, like the next video they dropped had a bit more variety in it.
Right.
They're not going to want to say that it's because of the conversation, so they don't want to give credit or whatever. But you know, I've seen it happen a few times with her. He's called people out and been like, why have you not, have a variation of women that represent sexy or represent like queendom, represent beauty? Next video, there's been a little bit more variety. And I was like, so he was listening then.
Funny that,
yeah, funny that, mate.
Mad.
That man would never have said that.
You know what?
Never.
I felt like it was, and I know it's gonna sound deep, but I felt like it was a bit of a setup. You know, when someone knows something you don't know and they send you into the lion's den. Like, for 3 black men, I don't feel, and I could be wrong, I just felt like it felt very divisive against the community. You know
Here's my thing, What did you guys want to achieve?
This is it. This is it.
If she rolled over and was like, you know what, guys, I'm really going to take that on board, blah, blah, blah. What would you have walked away from that panel thinking about yourselves? And, oh, I'm glad we got Zizi to really change the way she's approaching. What do you gain?
That's what I'm saying.
It's mad. A lot of the times, and I check myself sometimes. I'm like, okay, you've got this opinion on something, but say you get your way, then what?
Right.
Like, I just don't like in when you're doing the whole big back and forth or whatever. Say she was just like, yeah, cool, fine, you guys are right. You guys walk away losing. Because now we don't have that voice that we had, who's not afraid to say the things that need to be said. Yeah. Like we've lost, we've taken an L because you guys wanted to put it in a box and to sit down and be quiet over there. And I don't know what the goal was at the end of it. Like, do this for the village because that's what we need you to do. It's to me, it sounds like. I was watching it and just thinking misogyny. Like, that's all I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was just thinking it had a very stay in the kitchen vibe to me.
100%.
And I know that's not what they said, and I don't like to put words in people's mouths, but it just like to try and clip someone's wings for not. That's why I asked, what was the end goal? What did you want to gain from it? Because that's ultimately what the question. Like, it brings about that question, like, what is the end goal? Because if it's not that, why do you need her to not give you that for the village or whatever analogy you wanted to use? Like, let her do what she's doing.
Yeah, it's mad. It's the arrogance that comes with it as well. And like, as you said about like walking off.
This is it.
Like, physically walking off because you feel like you've made a point and your point's only one that's valid, so I'm gonna walk away.
Because there's nothing left to talk about now because I've said what I've got to say. Yeah. It's mad. And it's mad. And like Jermaine said, I don't like talking about people that can't really defend themselves because I'm talking about someone and they're not here to kind of defend themselves. But I just feel like, and this is where I think responsibility comes into, and being responsible for your position in the community. Like, you have a pretty big platforms, and whether you like it or not, or whether we agree with it or not, your voice has some sort of effect in terms of what people decide to believe, how they believe, what they believe. You've got to be responsible with how you use that voice, because people are now looking at your behavior, and in some ways you validated certain behaviors that traditionally live in our community, and not in our community, in the male species, with misogyny, in terms of, actually, you're chatting and you're right as a woman and I can't do nothing now, so I'm gonna puff up my chest, get up, walk out and have like this animated behavior to just help me win this argument or win this war, debate or whatever. And it's
passive aggressive. Passive aggressive.
Yeah, passive aggressive.
This is it.
I don't obviously, like, I'm kind of glad that Chucky was on a mediator thing, because I really like Chucky, and I used to watch Half Caste all the time. But yeah, and this is nothing that I wouldn't say to them man's face, innit? Like, if that ever came to it, but it's just, we have to start just asking them internal questions, like what we want to achieve. And you know, because we do say things out of jokes to get reactions and stuff like that. And I'm also guilty of doing it, but it's just like in that type of situation, I don't know, man. I'm not familiar with Lippy or whatever, but yeah.
I'm familiar with him just because of Clubhouse.
Okay.
Oh, really? I haven't heard him talk in Clubhouse, you know. I haven't heard. What is he? Oh, Terry. Terry's like, nah, I'm not having
I've
it.
heard him talk in Clubhouse several times. And all I'm going to say is, no, sir. And that is it.
Yeah. I'm not really familiar with Lippy. I think I maybe watched a few podcasts with him in, but like he's never really. I know he's opinionated. Why can't I say the word? Jesus. Yeah, that. But yeah. Again, like the whole elephant in the room thing. I was mad uncomfortable watching. I was mad uncomfortable watching it, man.
He's done some really wild things on Clubhouse, though. Really wild.
Really?
Yeah.
Just one example, Terry. Give me one.
Just really aggressive talk. Really aggressive talk, and just really like roadman-esque.
Okay.
So from that angle, I'm just a bit like, can't get with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that.
I don't know him personally. But as an observer, several times about some conversation that's been going on in there, and that's just a lot.
It's sad. It's sad, you know.
It's really sad. It's really sad.
It's sad, man. Then she let Zizi live. Zizi's doing her thing. She's been doing it. She's carved it out on her own. The train is moving mad, like you said, Jerry. She's rising. Do you know what I mean? She's getting opportunities that Black women have been asking for or deserved over the years. Do you know what I mean? Like appearances on Good Morning, and do you know what I mean? It's great to see. So support the thing. Don't get her on there to knock her down. It was wild to me. It was like I haven't seen her on any of your platforms, whether it's Chucky's, whether it's Lippy's, whether it's Poets. But the first time you collaborate, and I could be wrong because this is a creative industry. A lot of things happen behind the scenes that it takes a while for the general public to see. But that's the first time a collaboration's happened between very big platforms or very big personalities, and this is what you display: an attack on another Black woman. It's like I just can't deal with it. I can't deal with it, man.
It's mad.
That is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is, but we got to do better.
Must do better.
Must.
This is it. Do you guys still watch The Breakfast Club?
I haven't watched it in ages.
Yeah, me neither, you know. Why? Who had an interview?
No one. I just realized recently that the appeal is not what it used to be.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure whether it's the format, like whether because of pandemic and all this type of stuff, but I don't watch it that much anymore. But I watch other things. Sounds mad controversial because it's a huge platform, but it's like when you go away and come back, there's an air of immaturity in the interviewing style.
From day.
That's why it pops, isn't it? That's why it pops, man.
But
I didn't really notice that until like I'm a huge fan of like Joe Budden podcast, right? And when you see and not to like even like pit them against each other or whatever, like they've got their rivalries there anyway, but it's just like I watch Here's the Thing, another podcast as well with Kev on Stage, and obviously have my own now. So basically,
you have your what?
Have my own podcast, middle age. So when you go away and revisit, you're like, raw, like you guys really ask people like them type of questions, or like even in terms of the research. I don't know, man.
And the sexual stuff.
Yeah, why does it always have to be
always.
there? And the homophobia, there's always an air of homophobia, regardless of if they want to like joke around about it. It's just like, it's just really, I don't know, man. And just to play devil's advocate, you know, someone could be like, well, you know, when Joe Budden always has those airs of homophobia and they're always saying pause, this, that, whatever. But it goes back to what I said about the immaturity, how they play with it. It's not obviously right in the first place, but it sounds really stupid, but not everyone's going to rise to your intellect level when it comes to accepting people for who they are all the time, how they live their lives or whatever. So, but when I see it, I get it. And it just takes a bit more education and, you know, straight guys like to banter with each other and whatnot. So like, cool, whatever. But when it's done on The Breakfast Club, I'm like, wow, this seems like 15-year-olds going back and forth about this gay stuff. And it's just awkward to watch. Just a basic interview outside of that. Like, can we get to the questions that's gonna... And Charlemagne used to really kind of spearhead each interview because he'd have the computer there and ask the really tough questions or whatever. But I don't know, man. I feel like that's ultimately the reason why, you know, Meg said, I'm not coming down to Una's thing, yeah? You guys are just going to try gaslight my...
This is it.
With no real achievement at the end of it for me, for my brand, for what I'm trying to do out here. But, you know, it's still an iconic platform. I'm not taking that away from them. Obviously, they still gave us the baby interview. Oh, three of y'all. Is we finished or is we done? And Drake,
what's it called? Don't talk on my name. What's he say again? What did he say again?
Put some respect on my name. Like, they've had iconic moments. They've had very iconic moments. I don't know what made me ask the question, but I just thought to myself, because I think it's the dynamic of just looking at us as two males and a female. And just speaking about the what's it called, the elephant in the room thing, just made me think, there's ways it can be done, you know, when you're dealing 100%. With a female energy.
100, man, 100. Well, you know what, I think that brings us on nicely to kind of wrap up the last episode of 2020.
Are we finished? Is that it?
No sound effects remain, no.
Sound effect. No, because I just feel like I don't know. Felt really.
Yeah, but you was late. Yeah, remember? 20 minutes.
Listen, give the people them something. If he's looking to me, like, girl. Give the people them something to watch, listen, read. Yeah, man. I'll start off. There is an amazing artist from Birmingham who just an amazing artist from Birmingham called Indigo Marshall. I think she's incredible. I've only just dipped my sort of toe back into looking at the scene again, and she's an amazing R&B singer, songwriter. Her content creation's great, so check her out. I'll put up a graphic at some point, you'll see it. But yeah, check her out, man. Indigo Marshall.
Jermaine?
There's a show on Netflix called Death to 2020. I recently watched that, and it's flipping hilarious, starring Samuel Jackson and many other familiar faces. It's kind of like a parody thing, but they document from January to December and the madness that we've all you know, managed to live through, but it's done in such a hilarious, clever way. Different people playing different roles, like they're not playing themselves. Like one actress is playing the Queen, Samuel L. Jackson is playing like a guy from like, I don't know, a government faction or whatever, and you've got Phoebe from Friends is playing like a representative of Trump, and it's done really, it's really funny. Yeah, so make sure you guys watch that, because you'll be surprised the stuff that we've survived this year. And it's done in a way that's digestible, and it's not like, oh, you're just watching 2020 all over again and feeling the depression side of it, you know? Yeah.
And everyone go on Disney Plus and watch Soul, because I'm going to do that.
Oh, man.
And that's all I've got.